With the plot of JoJoLands finally getting into full swing, with our band of thieves actually getting the diamond and infiltrating Rohan's house, there's a lot to discuss. So with this video, you're going to see a bunch of the theories and weird tinfoil brain rot ideas that I've had, as well as many other people. So I hope you enjoy and consider sticking around for future deep dives in the future. And interspersed with the actual theories, you're going to see some of the reactions I had while reading the chapter, so you'll be able to see how these ideas sort of came to fruition. Now, the first thing I want to discuss is something someone brought up in my stream. Now, unfortunately, I don't remember the specific someone because I couldn't find the comment, which is sad, but I still think the idea is so amazing that I want to talk about it. Basically, the idea is that they have sort of figured out what JoJo's November Rain stand's ability truly is, and I thought this idea was super fascinating, and we see many different examples of it throughout each of the chapters. So let's go chapter by chapter. The commenter speculated that November Rain is able to take liquid from whatever's around its environment. So for example, in chapter 1, it would have taken liquid from the cop, and that's why the cop got so compressed from the rain. It wasn't just because it was rain, it was because it was from himself. In chapter 2, we see that JoJo is surrounded by a bunch of puddles, so that's probably where it came from there. And in chapter 3, we see that Rohan is pricked by a cactus needle, leading me to think that JoJo used the water from inside of the cactus in order to cause this ability. I think this idea is incredibly compelling because it has a lot of versatility in the way JoJo could use this water-based ability and allow for many different types of water, or water from unexpected places. Maybe some water vapor thing will happen eventually. Maybe JoJo will even be able to make people drown from the water. There's a lot of potential here, so I think this is very, very interesting. I'd say one of the biggest red flags in the whole chapter was Rohan's lab filled with rocks, and obviously this is a massive meme because of the "what was he cooking" meme, so this is now just the big meme of the chapter outside of the cat. But I think this actually is going to relate a lot to the main narrative. Like, there's no way it's not. So here's how all this sort of went in my head. Oh my god. No way. Are those... Guys, I don't like that it says rocks. All these rocks all over the ground. All these rocks. Making me think rock human stuff is happening. Are those rocks strewn all over the ground? Wait, these photos. What is this? They're volcanoes. Alright, I don't want to be that guy here. I don't want to be that guy. But all I'm gonna say is that there's a reason the first page and the place and everything is about volcanoes, because we got the rock humans, we got people are saying Rohan's cooking it up. I mean, we are in, you know, are we gonna ignore what our main characters are doing in this storyline? All I gotta say is he should be Rohan. Maybe because he's a mangaka, he's just interested in all sorts of things. This is meta. This is very meta for, this is meta. Oh my god, okay, the diamond is actually, I don't know why, I didn't even expect it to be in here. I didn't even expect it to be in here. That's interesting. That's interesting. All I gotta say is the fact they're glancing at like, ooh, if the diamond is just from this, then that thing has to also be important. Now, do I have any idea what Rohan was cooking, or what Araki is cooking with this plotline? No, I really, really don't. But just because of what I expect from after writing a decade of rock humans, I'm assuming Araki isn't going to let this rock human plotline die out this fast with all the buildup he's had. Araki has always been one to have JoJo divided into trilogies of some sort. Parts 1 to 3 are all about Dio, parts 4 to 6 are all about the stand arrow, and parts 7 to 9 seem to be about Spin in some way. So Spin is definitely going to come to this storyline as well, but I don't think it's unlikely that the rock humans could return as well, because of what was seen with how long they were fleshed out, and all the similarities that there are in this part, and allusions to the rock humans as well. Like I said, Paco being chiseled like a rock, there's no way that was unintentional. And speaking of things being completely intentional, Dragona literally calls their stand their kids. This is intentional. Guys, there's no way in the world that this is not going to happen in the story. Dragona is more likely than not actually gonna do some transitioning, or if Shonen Jump allows it, it will actually happen. But let's see what happens. Shoutouts to my commenter NB Trash for saying Dragona being trans would also make sense because of Smooth Operator's ability. like how it can transform and change the properties of objects, which could be a metaphor for Dragona transitioning. Maybe I'm looking too much into it, but it's just something I noticed. No, MB Trash, you are spitting. Araki absolutely did this on purpose, and I thought that comment was genuinely probably one of the best analysis I've seen of the whole part. I've never heard that take before, that comment, so shouts to you for literally changing my entire view of Dragona's stand, making it even better than just the cute little frog mech stand. I'm going to shout out Parkour and Prankster for this amazing comment saying, I think the Steel Ball Run universe villains are based off of the 3 branches of government. Valentine's legislative, Toru is executive, and the Part 9 villain will be the judicial branch. And the villain could be a judge, and the police would be stand users. Now, I personally think this is going to be an absolutely amazing idea if this comes true, because of what JoJo wants the most in the world, which is to create a system or a mechanism around him that allows him to do whatever he wants. And, obviously, you guys already know if you've seen my JOJOLANDS videos, but I personally think the DEA agent lady was super sus, and I think she'll definitely come back, but again, that's just hardcore copium to a lot of people, but to me, I see potential. So, I love this idea, especially the idea with the judge. I think the judge being the main villain, especially with JoJo's first confrontation with the DEA agent being outside Hawaii State Supreme Court, I really think there's a lot of potential with this one. So, thank you for the amazing comment. The last thing I really want to bring up is the biggest mystery and meme outside of Rohan cooking it up in his lab, which I think is the cat. I'm leaning more so to the stand thing, because of what we see at the end of the chapter, with JoJo being super shook that Rohan is a stand user, presumably. I'm assuming it's a stand and not a rock animal. It would be crazy if it is a rock animal though, don't get me wrong. But I think now that we know the cat is a stand, I've cracked how it works as well. And it's going to be very, very weird, but I'm going to show you the process of me coming to this realization that the cat is a stand and the cat's true importance, and then we'll get into what exactly I think the cat is. If that's the case, then whose cat has been wandering around the outside of this place? That cat. Where'd it come from? Is it a stray? Okay, the cat. Now, the fact that he doesn't even know about the cat is something. That's something. I'm not liking that he doesn't know about the cat either. It's quite strange for a cat to just show up here all of a sudden. Could that cat possibly belong to someone? Could that cat possibly belong to someone? Cat, so it went inside, huh? The cat is so sus. The cat is so sus. The cat. What is the cat? Hey, there's a cat. It's walking towards us down the hallway. This is so weird. I think that's the same cat that was wandering around outside before. Okay. Some, like, fishing line trap thing. And it's, like, tying around him. It looks like it's turning into, like, barbed wire. It's around my arm, too. What is this? This plastic string. Where'd it come from? Okay, it's starting to wrap around Usagi's, like, foot or something. Oh, he dodged it. Hey, it's gotta be the cat that did this. What? Bro, he's just so shook. Like, it's the cat. It's the cat. Like, no way. Have you two not figured it out yet? There ain't no security system that works like this. That's a stand. And it's attacking us. That cat was targeting us the whole time. You get what I'm saying here, right? I personally think that this cat is a stand, and I personally think Rohan also thinks this cat is a stand, or he's unaware stands exist and he doesn't have Heaven's Door, or something along those lines. I'm not entirely sure on Rohan's stand capabilities in this part, because since he looks so similar to Rohan, it might be him having a very different stand experience to differentiate him from his original universe counterpart. But back on the cat. I'm personally thinking the cat's stand ability is obviously the plastic string, but I don't know how far Araki's going to go with it. Maybe the tail has something more so to do with the way the string is actually made, sort of like a fishing rod, which would be a really cool callback to Pesci, since many people believe this is a part 5 and 6 parallel, with this being possibly the final part of JoJo as a whole. So I think there's a lot of potential with this plastic string cat idea. I just need to see more of it. And a lot of people still are speculating it's a rock animal because it shows up right outside this lab filled with rocks, which I don't know exactly how I feel about. I think it being a stand would hit a lot better, especially like with what I said about JoJo realizing Rohan can see stands. That's going to be it for me, but as you may have noticed, many of the ideas from this video are actually from viewers that were actually watching me live react to the chapter. So, if any of these ideas sounded especially interesting or compelling to you, let me know what you think down below. But obviously, comment what you think of the story, because I love seeing what other people think of the story, because it gives me a wider perspective on what people think of the part as a whole, and it's really just awesome to see. If any of that sounded especially fun or interesting, consider joining the stream sometime and giving your ideas live to many other people outside of myself in the comments section. That's going to be it for me and JoJoLands Chapter 3. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I hope you have a good one.